It's cool. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Xtra Innings. We are in the postseason, the most exciting time of the year. So we took the week off last week. I mean, Dave, hey, Phillies were playing. There were a lot of big games, so no sense in doing a show while the actual games are going on. Although the Orioles and Rangers are going on right now, but
right. Well, who was going to watch us when the playoffs were starting?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. But hey, man, excited to be back. Not so excited about the end of that Phillies game last night. That was a tough loss.
Yeah, I really didn't see all of it. I was playing softball for a team down in Delaware, and down in Delaware for a Pennsylvania team. But anyway, we were listening to it on the radio as every game was going on around us. And I kept listening to it, and it was 3-0 Phillies, and it was 4-0 Phillies. I'm thinking, oh man, this looks good for the Fightins. And oh my gosh, what a crazy ending that was.
Yeah, and so that I was upset about that, and then of course, I'm rooting for the Orioles here. They dropped the first two at home, and then Texas hit a bomb in the first inning, so Texas is up 1-0. Then you got the other series. You got the Twins and the Astros. Now, that series, that the Astros are now up 2-1. Little surprised, not necessarily that the Astros won, but they lit up Sonny Gray a little bit today. The Astros hopped on him early, so they're up 2-1.
Yes, I saw that. I was watching the first. I watched the first inning of that game, and Mr. Who was Abreu went yard. Yeah. I think it was Abreu. Yeah. Oh my gosh, a 3-run shot. I think it was in the first inning, and the Astros just took off from there. Man, Sonny Gray didn't have a chance. My gosh, that poor guy. And I like Sonny Gray. I liked him when he was in Cincinnati. He was a big player down there. So my thing is, excuse me, my washing machine's going off. I apologize.
That's okay.
But anyway, my thing is, it's only 2-1, right? It's 2-1 Astros, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that series is still going to go. I think Minnesota will win game 4. I really do.
Okay. And the other series, a lot of people are probably surprised about this. I'm not necessarily shocked about this one, but the Arizona Diamondbacks, first off, Diamondbacks go to Milwaukee. They sweep Milwaukee. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then they go to the Dodgers. Both games, game one, they jump on Kershaw like right away. Like Kershaw looked like the remember his first few seasons when he had playoff problems. He looked like he was back to that. They jumped all over him, and then of course, and then last night they jumped out to an early 2-3-0 lead also.
Yeah, they did, Joe, and it's really crazy because are the Dodgers overrated, Joe? I mean, is Kershaw still injured? Is that why didn't pitch that well last night? I mean, is there like something with that we're not seeing?
I mean, I don't think they're necessarily overrated. I mean, they did win over 100 games. You know what I mean? It's just honestly, bro, I feel like the playoffs have become just get in and be hot. And right now, Arizona's hot. Arizona's 4-0 on the play, 4-0 with 4 road wins.
I know.
Yeah. And then you got this Texas team. They're 4-0 with 4 road wins.
Yep. Well, like you said, getting hot at the right time. I mean, Texas is getting hot. Houston's doing their thing, and Arizona's doing their thing. And I'm surprised because I thought the Dodgers. I mean, winning the NL West over 100 games, like you said, I'm shocked that they're down 2-0. It's very surprising to me.
Yeah, and they may have some issues now. The Dodgers match. First, let me get a couple of these comments. Adam Glenn says, "What's up? Do you still believe in the Phillies?" Yes, I still believe in the Phillies. Mike, although, but I'll get into that in a little bit. I still believe in the Phillies, but I do think that last night's loss is a series-changing type loss. I mean,
I believe in the Phillies too. Don't get me wrong, but right now I think the momentum is. I think the momentum went back to Atlanta after last night. I really do. I think because that one catch, man, it was amazing by Harris, and if he doesn't catch that ball, we're up 2-0. You know, so I think the momentum's changed a little bit. I think it's going back to Atlanta, but we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, interesting.
Hey, we need Nola to step up. Mike Fuji says, "What's good, fellas? Let's get ready for Game 3." He also says, "No one gave Minnesota a chance." Yeah, that's the thing. First off, I mean, obviously we're in the division round now, but real fast, I don't think I've ever seen all 4 wild card series were all 2-0 sweeps.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting that you should say that. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Well, I think we knew the Phillies were going to sweep the Marlins. I think that we kind of saw that coming. That was kind of like that was like a given. I mean, and I think Minnesota sweeping the Blue Jays. Hey, we've been ripping Minnesota all season long in that division, Joe, and all of a sudden they're coming up. Yeah, I mean they're down 2-1 the Astros, but they did sweep the Blue Jays in 2. So I mean, give them a little credit. They're hanging in there.
I got to give them credit. And I'll tell you what too. Game 1, they had some. If I was a Twins fan, I would run out and buy that jersey. They had a banging ass cream colored jersey that said Twin Cities on it. I was like, yo, that one's banging, dude.
And you've been dogging that division the whole time we've been doing the show. My lord.
I was. I was wrong on the Twins. The Twins showed something in the wild card series. I was right on the Astros, though. The Astros went up.
Hey, well, we both said the Astros were going to be hot, and I said you can't count the defending champs out. I told you that. But what I keep saying is, but this series with the Twins and the Astros, to me, you can't count the champs out. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Twins win Game 4. I really wouldn't. It wouldn't shock me anyways.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, hey, it's in Minnesota, so I guess
sure.
Guess we'll see.
But Sonny Gray just didn't have it today. My God, after that first inning, he was rocked. I mean, Abreu came in, hit 3-run bomb. And next thing you know, Minnesota was down. So it happens, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get into some of these series here. Hang on, I'm just looking up the starters because I printed in my research for tonight. I printed out Game 3 starters, but then kind of forgetting that game 3 was already going to be played by the time we do this show. So I'm looking at 4 starters here.
Well, I know Sonny Gray went for the Twins today. I wasn't sure who went for the Astros.
It was Christian Javier.
That's what it was, Javier. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Christian Javier mowed them down. I mean, yeah, they won. Houston wins 9-1. So
yeah, 9-1. That's big. That just tells me that Houston's bad. They showed up and Abreu was hot. So.
Yeah, but I'll look up to Game 4 is tomorrow, so that we'll see what happens there. I'll look up those starters.
Actually, Game 4 is tomorrow too.
Gotcha.
Actually.
Okay.
Yep. 207 or whatever. What's up with this 07 stuff, Joe? I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe are they trying to be like James Bond? You know,
I mean, everything's like 507, 207, 807. What's up with the 07? I don't get it.
There must be some reason, but who knows?
Hello, Eileen. How are you? Thank you for checking in.
How you doing? Thanks for checking us out. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So we'll get back into that Minnesota and Houston series. You know what? All right. So right now, just to break this down, I got the Orioles. You know, the Orioles are down 2-0. Texas is red hot. Tonight, as this game's going on, you got Dean Kremer versus Nathan Eovaldi. Dean Kremer came into this game 13-5 with a 4.12 ERA. I'll tell you what, Nathan Eovaldi is 12-5 with a 3.63. But the one thing about Nathan Eovaldi is he's always been clutch in the playoffs. I mean, if you remember a few years ago with Boston, he was really big in that 2018 run. He
was the best pitcher in Boston, if I recall correctly. One of them anyway, top 3 at least. But if you think about it, Joe, he's actually 1-0 in the playoffs already. He already won a game. So it's hot. You know.
Hey, pitch well. Eileen C says, is it wrong if I really don't want Texas to win so Max Scherzer doesn't get a ring? Not wrong at all. I don't want them to win either. I want the Phillies to win, and I want the Orioles to beat them in this series. So no, totally.
Well, right now Texas is hot. Their bats are coming alive, and right now, I mean, as much as I would like to see the Baltimore win, and I want to see Baltimore come back. Don't get me wrong, I really would. I like to see that, but I don't know. Texas they just have it going on right now.
Well, it's not looking good. Texas just had the bases loaded with 2 outs, and guy just hit a double down the third baseline. So it's 3-0 in the second inning, and
Wow.
Texas still has second and third. So yeah, it's not looking too good for the O's.
There's well, you never know. Don't count them out yet, Joe. Because Rangers, I mean, Orioles still have some bats, and things could happen. Yeah,
that's true. But let's see. Here, I got a comment here. Paul Spencer says, "Chop, chop, boys."
Yeah, we hear you.
Unfortunately. Well, I'll tell you what. Those tomahawk chops were awfully quiet until about the 6th inning last night, and that's
they were.
But you know that's let's get into that series. I mean, not just because we're Phillies fans, but also, I mean, to be quite honest with you, I feel like that's the most compelling series that's going on right now.
Well, it is 1-1, and the Braves did have to come back to win in the end endings, I should say, in the later innings, I should say. But dude, Wheeler was mowing him down through 6, bro.
He is. What did he have? Like 10 strikeouts?
Yeah, 10 Ks. Yes, he did. Yep. And what's it called? Who was it? JT went yard to make it 4-0 or 3-0, whatever it was, and and they just got hot. The Phillies were getting hot, and I mean, but like I said, with the Braves, Joe, it's hard to keep a good team down, and that's what the Braves are. They're just that good.
Adam Glenn says he still believes. Hey, Adam, I do too. Listen, when I say that's a series-changing loss, that's not. I'm not saying that Atlanta's going to win the series right now. But what I mean is that think about it. Phillies are up 4-0. They had 1 million guys on base. They left guys on base.
11 guys on base last night, Joe. 11. I think it was 11.
Wheeler's got a no going through like 5 innings, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that whole crowd, the whole Atlanta crowd is quiet. The bench looks like they almost look like they were beaten, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? And
the fans look defeated. They did. They really did.
You know what gave them life? The Atlanta finally gets a hit, and Acuna walks. Alves gets his first hit, and Trey Turner. They throw the ball in. Turner makes an error, and Alves and Acuna winds up scoring from third. So that gave them life.
That was their first run of the game, right, Joe?
Yeah, and that gave them life. That got the crowd involved, and then and boom. But anyway, you're up 4-0 against the best team in baseball. You have your ace on the mound, mowing them down. That's a game you need to win. You need to win that game.
Totally agree. Do you think taking Alvarado out was the wrong thing to do, Joe?
What's that?
Do you think that taking Alvarado out was the wrong thing to do? Going with Hoffman, which he did, he had more confidence. I mean, he had the confidence in Hoffman. I get it, but I'm asking you, what do you think what the deal was?
I mean, Alvarado was mowing them down. So I mean, see, I have a theory with relief pitchers, bro, that as good as your relief pitchers are for a while, every time you bring a guy in the game, he has a good chance of fucking up a new guy, right? So if you got a guy throwing well that's mowing people down, I like to go. I call it almost like the NBA rule. I'm trying to go with the hot hands.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I would have left him in, but a lot of Rob Thompson's moves seem to pan out. Just last night, unfortunately, they didn't. Right.
I agree. But then again, can Alvarado actually pitch 2 innings? I don't think I've ever seen him do that. Have you?
I don't. Yeah, but you weren't. I think he only had to get one more guy, I believe.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Home run Rangers 6-0.
Wow.
And Paul Spencer says, I didn't even watch it until the 6th inning, and first words were, "Shit, I hate these Phillies." Went to the bathroom and said, "Oh shit, we coming back." Yeah, it's.
Well, DiNardo's 3-run homer was huge, Joe. That got them right back into that game.
Yeah, no, it was. Hey, unfortunately, we had a great opportunity to get up 2-0, put a stranglehold on the series, and we just didn't do it. And now we're in for a dogfight. So you look at tomorrow night's game. You got Aaron Nola going. Now Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank will just will be sitting there and going crazy. But my fear is I hope we get the Aaron Nola of his last 2 to 3 starts and not the Nola who gives up 2-3 runs in the first inning.
Yeah, Joe Nola's been hot. I mean, he's been hot his last 3 starts. I mean, he's been really pitching really well. That's what the Phillies need right now. They need a hot Nola to go in there because who's pitching for the Braves tomorrow, John? Do we know?
So it's either going to be Elder possibly, or it could be they have a young kid that's only 20 years old by the name of AJ Smith Shawver.
Okay.
Now a lot of people are speculating they may go with him because he pitched a simulated game against that vaunted lineup, and he was mowing those guys down. So,
right.
And the Phillies have never seen this kid, so there's a thought that they may bring him. But I'll tell you what, trying to put a 20-year-old kid in that environment in Citizens Bank Park, I'm not so sure. That could go.
What? Yeah, I hear you, Joe. I hear you. That could go either way.
It could go either way. I mean, the kid could come in and and not know what he's not, basically just go in and just fire, and we've never seen him, or he comes in shaking in his legs, and with only 25 innings to his belt. I mean, he had a 4.26 ERA with 20 Ks. I mean, 20 Ks in 25 innings. I mean, he's got a power arm, but I think it's one of those things where the Braves are going to wait until the last minute just so we don't know.
That's a possibility. If no one's Snicker, he probably will. I wouldn't surprise me.
I got a couple comments here. Heather Ferguson says, "Hi, Sully. Hi, Paul. Just hanging out, learning from the experts." Well, thanks for checking us out. I was going to say, I don't know how expert we are, but I appreciate you checking us out.
Joe, they called us experts. What?
Hey, I'll take it,
Maybe it's just you and Paul the experts. Maybe I'm just out of it. So I don't know.
Paul Spencer says, "What a catch by Harris Jr. I thought that was gone." Hey, Heather. I'll tell you what, that kid Harris, he plays a hell of a center field, bro.
Bro, that catch was amazing to me. I'm sorry. I saw that catch and I was like, wow. I mean, to have the concentration to go against that wall, knowing where you are, where the fence is, and then to make the throwback to get him at first base. What's up with that, Joe? What's up with that?
Hang on, I got a couple more comments.
Okay.
Dave, you're not left out. She says, "Hi, Dave, you're not chopped liver."
Oh, thanks, Heather. I appreciate it. It means a lot.
Got another comment here. Big Blue Power Hour says, "Great game last night. Thought Phillies had us." That must be Dan. He's the Braves fan.
It's got to be Dan. Yeah, I thought the Phillies had you too. I know I did. When they were up 4-0, I thought it was over.
Got a couple more. What game is Spencer pitching? Spencer Strider is going to go in Game 4.
I thought it was Game 4. Okay.
Paul Spencer says, "Missing Charlie Morton hurts." Charlie Morton's a nice pitcher, but I think the Phillies actually could hit him.
They've hit him before, haven't they?
I was going to say, we kicked his ass last year, and I was at the clinching game in Game 4, and the Phillies kicked his ass. Paul, I mean, you may say missing him hurts. Honestly, from a Phillies fan perspective, I kind of wish he was pitching, bro. You know what I mean?
Phillies own Charlie Morton.
Yeah, I'm not intimidated by Charlie Morton at all. In fact, I'd rather take my chance. Although he is a veteran though, so the crowd probably can't.
This is true.
Like him,
Yep. So you're telling me that Strider's going to pitch Game 4?
Yeah, because of the off day.
Okay.
So the way it's setting up, because of the 2 off days. Game 4 is supposed to be Thursday. Well, Game 1 was Saturday, so
right.
Strider's on his regular day, and Suarez will go Game 4 for us.
Okay, so Ranger will go Game 4. Okay.
Now listen, now that's one, every time a manager makes a move, you could be second guess. Yeah, Dan says the same thing. Two off days, yeah. And
Okay, so real quick before you go there, Joe. So let me get this straight. If Strider pitches game 4, will I guess Wheeler will pitch game 5? Is that correct?
Game five lines up for Wheeler versus Fried.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which even though that's in Atlanta, hey, listen.
If it goes 5, it may not. You never.
I'm hoping it doesn't, because I'm hoping we close them out at home. But if it does go 5, even if it's in Atlanta, I feel pretty good about that matchup.
Okay.
I feel good about that matchup. The only thing that scares me about Fried, though, is that you can't run on Fried, because Fried's great at holding guys. Like if you remember game 1, the Phillies running game was huge. I think they stole 4 or 5 bases in game 1.
Mm-hmm.
That was huge. Eileen C wants to know, are either of you going to any games? I'd love to. Unfortunately, not.
I'm not either, Eileen. No games for me. Nope.
Paul Spencer says, I was thinking a bullpen game if needed, not a starter. Give you some change ups and breaking balls before the closer. True.
Okay.
All right. So let's look at this. Well, you know what? This will be the first seed, because we'll make predictions on all these series, even though they're already going on. I think the Baltimore one's kind of easy, considering it's 6-0 Texas.
Well, it sounds like it's kind of going to happen that way. I still like to see Baltimore come back, but you never know. You never know.
So would I, but unfortunately, they need a touchdown and an extra point.
There's extra point.
It's a little rough, Lamar Jackson. Unfortunately, Baltimore's got a good offense, but unfortunately, it's not Lamar Jackson playing out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you there.
All right, so we'll make a prediction. All right, I'm going the Phillies win tomorrow. I'm trying not to go red-colored glasses here. Ferguson, LOL. I'm trying not to go red-colored glasses here, but I'll just call it like I see it. I'm going Phillies in 5. I think the Phillies win. I think the Phillies win tomorrow. I think Thursday's going to drive me absolutely insane, because I'm going to want the Phillies to close them out, and I just have a feeling that Spencer Strider is going to step it up and really pitch well and redeem himself from last year's game here.
He could.
And all Philadelphia, we're going to have a lot of clenched butt cheeks, nervous, and we're going to go to Atlanta and take their heart.
Wow.
Phillies in 5. And as much as I'd like to close it in Philadelphia, there's kind of a big part of me that kind of wants to be that prick and just go down there and take them out on their own field.
Okay. I hear you.
So what's your prediction as far as tomorrow and the series?
You really want to know?
Bad news, yeah.
Bad news.
Okay.
I think the Braves take it.
Okay.
I, as much as I hate to say that, and I love, but I have the Braves in 5.
Okay.
I do. I think Atlanta wins tomorrow. I think the Phillies win game 4. And I think it goes down to Atlanta, and game 5 is going to be all Atlanta. I just do. That's just my.
Well, there is one thing that concerns me, because, a lot of Phillies fans, Adam Glenn says Phillies in 4.
I wouldn't have said that until, if the Phillies would have won last night, okay, I think the series is definitely over. And I know I'm playing devil's advocate here, but my thing is that momentum last night from the 8th inning on for Atlanta, I think they take that into tomorrow's game. I just do. That's how I see it.
That is a concern, because like we were saying earlier, that whole stadium and that whole team literally looked like they were dead.
And here's what I think too, Joe, and I hate to say this because I know. I look at Atlanta, right, and I say they're not afraid to go into Citizens Bank Park. Other teams are. Atlanta's not. They've won there 3 out of 4. Not in the regular season. I know it didn't mean anything, but still, they took 3 out of 4. And they won on your home turf. They won the NL East on your home turf. So they know how to win on the stadium. That's how I'm seeing this. Am I the only one that's crazy here, or what?
No, listen, I have no argument for you, Dave. The only thing I can say to you though is regular season and postseason are totally different animals, right?
True.
And it was reported that a lot of the Braves manager and the Braves players basically said that it was 3 hours of hell playing in Citizens Bank Park last October.
Okay.
So it is. I mean, like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you because listen, the Braves. I think the Braves are the best team in baseball.
I do too. I
right?
just do.
So,
I mean,
but I think the Phillies are right there with them. To be honest with you, I feel like this series could be the World Series. I think these two teams. I know the Phillies didn't win as many games as like the Dodgers, and they didn't win as many games as the Orioles. But the Phillies are a veteran-laden team with great playoff experience, and I can make the argument that. Put it this way, I'll make the argument that the Phillies are going to be the best team the Braves play. If the Braves if the Braves win the World Series, I feel like the Phillies are the best team they would have beaten on the way.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Yeah, because I mean, the way Arizona's playing, Joe, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, but we'll see. I mean, tomorrow's gonna be fun.
Big Blue Power Hour, aka Dan, said the Braves looked dead in the water. Yeah, they really did.
But Dan, all it takes is one inning, bro. One inning to change everything around, and that's what happened last night. One inning, that 3-run bomb by Denard, that turned the series right around. It just did.
Hey,
I mean,
hey, remember how about the Eminem song, man? Lose yourself. What's that, John? Lose yourself in the music, the moment. You got one shot, one opportunity, right?
Right, exactly. All it takes is one inning, and that's what it was. I mean, and then here comes Austin Riley, bang, game, and
I mean,
that was it.
Obviously, this isn't the same. This isn't the same as coming back from 0-3. But you ever watch that 30 for 30 on the 0-4 Red Sox?
No, I can't say that.
All right, well, it's great. It's basically called 4 Days in October. It's one of the best. It might be the best 30 for 30 I've ever seen, to be honest with you. And basically, what it does is it goes into the Sunday when if you remember the Yankees were up. The Yankees won like 19-8 in Fenway. They were up 3-0. Everybody thought the Red Sox were going to get swept. And Kevin Millar was basically like he was kind of interviewed a lot from it. And he was out there saying don't let us win today. Don't let us win today. And then boom, they beat Mariano. Dave Roberts stole the base. Then the next day, Poppy gets the hit. Day after that, Poppy gets the hit. Then you got the bloody sock, and then they kicked their ass in Game 7. But it plays to your point though. Hey, it's not being. Obviously, being down one game and 4-0 isn't the same as being down 3-0. But it's the same premise though. If you don't, if one of the great things about baseball is there's no. Think about it. Other sports have a time clock. There's no time clock in baseball. You must be beaten.
Except that pitch clock. That's about the only time clock I see.
Yeah, exactly. So
well, like they say, there's no time limit in baseball. There's just not.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel guilty because I didn't mean to bring up a bad memory to Eileen C. Eileen said I totally didn't mean to bring it up to her, but it just struck me as a comparison. You know what I mean?
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha.
I hate Kevin Millar, him and his damn cowboy up. Yes, that's true. Adam Popple has a great point here. He says Harper and Stott left 9 guys on base alone. Yeah, that's true.
They did. This is true. Yeah.
Adam Popple also says Phillies left too many men on base, didn't score after the 5th. Let Braves hang around. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the thing, Adam. If you let good teams hang around, they're going to make it. They're going to hurt you. It happens, and that's what the Braves do. I mean, they didn't win 104 games for nothing, Joe. I mean.
All right, so I have the.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to see the Braves win. I just think they're going to win. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, man, listen. The Braves are by far the betting favorite. I mean, I think the Phillies are. I think the Braves are like 58 in Fangraphs or something. I saw today. It was like Braves are like 58 something percent. Phillies are 41%, even with home advantage.
Well, so that place is going to be rocking tomorrow. I understand
Right.
that, and I get it. But my question is, why is it 5:07? What an odd time for a baseball game.
Well, it's because the Dodgers are the prime time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hang on a second.
But 5:07?
Heather Ferguson says, Dave, you're giving me anxiety.
I'm sorry. Okay, Heather, I hear you.
All right. So I have Phillies in 5. You have Braves in 5. All right.
I do.
Okay.
I just think that the Braves they still won one of these two. I don't know which one's going to be. I really think it's tomorrow, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Well. All right. So let's get into some of these other. Let's get into some of these other series. But before we do, real quick, now Heather was saying that you're giving her anxiety. All right. Well,
I'm sorry, Heather. I apologize.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now, somebody giving you anxiety is hey, I mean, it's not a reason to have to call a lawyer, but one reason, but listen though, you're talking about anxiety. Now, one thing that would give you an anxiety is if you got hurt on the job, right, Dave?
Right. Sure. Absolutely.
Right. So if you get hurt on the job, you might have to call my man, attorney Big Al, aka Jason Fine, Jason Fine, aka attorney Big Al. He's got motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workers' compensation, or personal injury claims. Well, I tell you what, you get a personal injury, man, that's anxiety as hell. So this guy can help you out. He'll get you compensated. He's got 3 offices, Philadelphia, PA, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, or Pittsburgh, PA. So make sure you check him out here. We're talking about all these teams. If you want to go out, say you're a Braves fan, you're hoping your team wins the World Series, which, no offense to Braves fans, but that would really suck for me. I want the Phillies to win. All right. But anyway, if you want to get a baseball mug, the ultimate game day mug, mug for any fan, Dugout Mugs. You can use the promo code OOTBS Sports 20 at dugoutmugs.com. So make sure you check that out. And then one other thing here, some of these games are late as hell. I mean, the Phillies are 5:07. I mean, so that's like early bird. Think about it. That's like early bird special. It's almost like what do they Dave? What do they think? I mean, this is Philadelphia, not Florida. You know what I'm saying?
This is true. Yeah, it's one of those early birds, like you said. Early bird special. I like that.
I wonder. I wonder if that hurts the crowd because that's less time to get banged up.
See, that's what I'm thinking too. I mean, people work at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so 5:07 is a very rare time. So,
well, my advice to Phillies fans: number one, start drinking early. All right, get nice and lathered up. Take the day off from work if you can. Start getting nice and banged up. And then you know what? Just don't drive. Don't drive.
Don't drive.
Yeah. Take public trans or Lyft or something. But anyway, we don't have to worry about it for the Phillies game because it's like
take the bus, Joe. Why not?
Yeah. But if you do have to stay up late for one of these games, say maybe you're a Dodgers fan. That John, I don't think that John comes on to like 8 something 9. So if you're a Dodgers fan, you might need some coffee. The best coffee in the land is Monkey Colt Coffee. So check out their newest blend is organic blend Peru La Florida. There's a promo code OOTBS Sports at monkeycoltcoffee.com. So make sure you check them out. Got one more here. Here's all the shows on the Out of Box Sports Network. There's something here for everybody. So make sure you check it out. And all right, so let's get into some of these other series, but hang on, I got a few more comments here.
Okay.
All right, I got my man here. I got my man Sean Kilrain. He says, "What's up, guys? CBP will be rocking tomorrow night."
Yes, it will, no doubt.
But see, I think it will too. But the one thing that makes me nervous is Nola better be on his shit because listen, nothing silences a baseball crowd than your pitcher giving up like 2-3 runs in the first inning. So he's got to start off good.
I agree totally.
Oh, hang on, one more here. It says Eileen C says they can move that to 7 p.m. if the Orioles lose.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
Wow. Well, that would be much better.
Yeah, this is true.
Let's see. Paul Spencer says Braves Twitter says it's 80% going with Strider, but Winans is still an option as per Braves.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Who the hell's Winans? I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I think he meant Winona or something like that. Is that what it is?
I don't know. Sure. I have this guy. I have AJ Smith Shawver. I don't know.
It could be. I think it's him too, honestly.
Okay. Sean Kilrain says, I'm saying Trey and Bryce come up big for their mishaps tomorrow. You watch. Wouldn't shock me.
Wouldn't shock me at all. No, not at all. I'm definitely Bryce. I mean, Trey, I could see that too, but we'll see.
Did you see the one guy from the Braves talking shit on Bryce? He was, I think it's like a Sayer or whatever, the shortstop.
No, Ozzy Albies?
No, not him. I'm sorry. No. I think Albies plays second. It's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think it's he was just like cackling, like making fun of Bryce for getting thrown out at first. I mean,
oh gosh,
I don't care, dude. That shit don't.
I mean, I get it, but I mean, if I was Bryce Harper, I'd probably be doing the same. Not that I'm saying I would do the same thing, but I would have thought Harris dropped that ball too, and that was a heck of a catch. It just was. I mean,
well, here's the thing. I actually wasn't that upset at Bryce for that because the way it was if that ball hits the wall, he's got to score to tie the game. Well,
he's going to score either way. It doesn't. He would have scored. Absolutely, he would have scored. He was halfway to third by the time the guy caught the ball.
I don't know if he scores if he's like only halfway. You know what I mean?
I think that's true. If he's not halfway, maybe not. But I think he was just playing to win. I get it. I mean, it happens.
So, all right. So let's move on to the other National League series, and that's the red hot Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. In my opinion, the stale Dodgers aren't the. I mean, they've been good.
What is up with the Dodgers, Joe? I don't get it. Mookie Betts and
Freeman,
Freddie, and the team is. I don't get it, Joe. How are they down 2-0 to the Arizona Dodgers? I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Arizona's young. They're hungry. They got swag. They got pitching.
There's a guy named Corey Carroll has been hot too.
He is. Well, and the other thing about Arizona, you got Gallen and Kelly only gave up 2 runs and 11.2 innings in games 1 and 2.
Well, didn't Miller pitch last night?
No, they had Gallen and Kelly went.
No, for the Dodgers, I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, I could look it right now. Hang on.
I think Miller pitched last night, didn't he?
Yeah, Bobby Miller got rocked. He 1 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So Kershaw got rocked. Bobby Miller got rocked.
That's their top 2 pitchers, huh?
Yeah, and now listen to this. Now, if you're a Dodgers fan, well, first off, tomorrow. Arizona's going with Brandon Pfaadt. I don't know how to say his name. It's Pfaadt. Fatted?
I think it's Fatted. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever. Well, however you say his name. He's 3-9 with a 5.72.
Wow.
96 innings. So he's a young guy, But I'll tell you, if I'm a Dodgers fan, I'm not all that thrilled that my whole season comes down to Lance Lynn. Now, Lance Lynn was 13-11, but he's got a 5.73 ERA. He made 32 starts. He pitched 183.2 innings. But if I'm a Dodgers fan and I'm dependent on Lance Lynn, I'm extremely nervous.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Some guy named Fat.
But I mean, the Dodgers offense show you. I mean, my God. It's just it's to me it should be rocking right now and it's not doing it. I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Well, Arizona has good pitching, bro. I mean, Zach Gallen and Kelly, and Gallen didn't even have his A+ stuff like last night. Gallen went 5 1/3. He gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. I mean, he was good enough to win, but I mean, Hey, that's the thing. Here's one, right? Now, a lot of people are saying, and maybe I'm guilty of this too, because I just said I think the Phillies and the Braves are the two best teams. But, even if the Phillies beat the Braves, it's not a shoo-in that they're automatically going to beat Arizona. I mean, you know how these teams are. They get in, dude. Arizona's a hot team right now.
I'm going to give the LA Dodgers one game. I think they win game 3.
I think they win tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think they win tomorrow night too. I want to give them that game.
Even with Lance Lynn, I think they find a way to beat this fat guy.
I think so too.
But then Arizona takes him out in 4.
I think so. I agree.
So, all right. So basically, I have the NLCS as Arizona at Philadelphia. You have the NLCS as Arizona
at Atlanta.
Okay.
Yep. Because, like I said, everything runs through Atlanta. So
yeah,
the playoffs run through Atlanta.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they do.
How many? What's funny? How many years have we been saying that since the early 90s?
What, the playoffs run through Atlanta?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, what a run of success,
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, so this next series, there's really no sense in spending too much time on it. Baltimore and Texas. I mean, unless Baltimore pulls off a miracle, this series has about 5 more innings.
Is it still 6-0?
Yeah, top of the 1 out, top of the 4th. Orioles are up. Evaldi's just mowing them down.
Yeah.
They just put a stat up. The Orioles in the regular season, the Orioles were 287 with runners in scoring position. They had 48 comeback wins, and they were 61-19 when they scored first. This series, they're 3 for 17 with runners in scoring position. 0-1 when they score first, because they scored first in game 2. But,
gotcha. Wow.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for Baltimore.
Not right now. It's not. No, not at all. But one big inning, it's all they need. I mean, you never know.
Well, you know what? I just thought of something. There were 3 teams in Major League Baseball that won over 100 games. Baltimore, Atlanta, and Dodgers.
Right.
And they are combined 1-5. Wow.
Does that blow your mind, Joe?
No, it doesn't, because I feel I firmly think that the week off really.
You think that had a lot to do with it?
Well, 1-5. I mean, if it was one team, I would say suck it up, Buttercup. But 3 teams, bro.
Well, including Atlanta in that, because they clinched early, Joe. I mean, they clinched a month early, so they've been off for a while.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, the fact that these teams won 100 games, kicked everybody's ass, and then they can't. They're just getting the boat raced in the NLDS.
Right.
It does it. The problem is, though, I don't know what Major League Baseball can do about it, because the wild card's here to stay, and there's so teams are going to have to figure out a way. I don't know. I mean, I know the Braves played simulated games last week. They said,
sure. Do you remember a few years ago, Joe? I remember when wild card was just only one game. It wasn't the best of 3.
Right.
I'm just saying that was like you were one and done. If you won that wild card game, you were great. You were in. But if you didn't win the wild card game, you were out.
I mean, do you think it's possible? Maybe they'll change back to something like that, because a week's a long time for these teams to sit.
For these teams, right? Especially if you won the division. Absolutely, I agree. Yep.
It's not like it's not like football. Football, you get the bye week. You rest up, you chill. And even if you're rusty in the first quarter of the game, say it's the divisional playoffs, maybe because you rested, maybe you're a little rusty in the first quarter or something.
Sure.
But usually the rest, as the game goes on, it really plays out, because the other team had to break their balls the week before, where meanwhile you were chilling.
Right.
You know what I mean? But dude, baseball is such a game of rhythm that if you get out of that rhythm, it fucks you all up.
It does. It really does. It takes time to get back to where you want to be. Yeah, absolutely.
Paul Spencer here says it has to be Russ. Braves couldn't hit a damn watermelon game one. It took them 15 innings to hit a ball live. No, they have the bats. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, they do have the bats. It does take time. I mean, sometimes you're out of rhythm. Your rhythm's off. You were out for a week. You're off. What? How many? I mean, you won the division early. You had a week off in playoffs. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
And once you get started, it's hard. Then you start like if the ball starts rolling and your guys start hitting. It's like a domino effect, Joe. Once you get started, you can't stop.
Yeah. Remember for our skunk where he's like, you just stepped in a big pile of shit. He's like, it happens.
It happens
sometimes,
It does. All right, so let's say, Joe, Arizona Dodgers. I think Arizona's got this, right?
What's that?
I said Arizona Dodgers. I think Arizona's going to win this series.
I do too. Yeah.
Okay, so Houston and
are we both? We're both saying Texas is going to win, right?
I think Texas wins this against Baltimore. Yes.
That's okay.
And Houston and Minnesota.
Yeah, I didn't. I still didn't see who the game 4 probable was.
Who's pitching for Minnesota? Do we know?
I'm trying to find it right now. Houston versus Minnesota. Yeah, I should have looked at game 4 story.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's pitching for them. If anybody knows who's pitching for Minnesota, please let us know.
Here we go, right here. Who will the Astros start in game 4? Baker weighs his options. It looks like it's a game time decision because it's saying probably not Verlander.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, he pitched his last outing was really good.
Yeah,
Verlander in October, Joe. Verlander in October is different than Verlander in May.
It's funny though because a lot of times, I got another comment here. Paul Spencer said Olson said on a Brave show today it's hard. Inter-squad games are different than live games to play for the wild card round. Here we go. Paul Spencer says Joe Ryan is pitching for the Twins.
Joe Ryan. Okay.
I think they got issues. I'm saying Houston. Houston picks their balls up and closes them out tomorrow.
Okay. I'm going to give Minnesota one more game.
Yeah, I'm on FanDuel right now. Houston is TBD. That famous TBD.
To be determined.
TBD has a great record.
TBD does have a great record. It's undefeated, never loses.
Paul Spencer says BS or Uragudi.
Uragudi? Huh?
Okay.
We'll
see what happens. All right, but I don't. I still say that. All right. So I'm going with wow. So
what are you wowing about?
I'm going. So we're looking at a Houston versus Texas ALCS.
Yeah, it could be a Texas series, Jeff.
Damn, that's a tough one.
I don't know for sure on that one. I would go with the Rangers. That's just me. But you can't count out the defending champs, so because the Rangers are hot right now. I would go with Texas. That's just
me. I can't deal with watching Houston win again. I just can't.
I hear you. Yeah, I understand.
You know what? That'll be torture for me if it winds up being Houston versus Atlanta in the World Series again. That might be one that I barely can watch.
I hear you. I got you. Yep.
So, all right. We'll next time we do the show, we'll make the predictions on the champions.
Well, when we do the show next week, they'll actually everything will be done. So it'll be ALCS and LCS.
Yes, and we don't know when we're going to do the show because if there's a big game on a Tuesday at 8:30, then we'll have to do it another time.
We'll pick another day. Yep.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, here's the team's Twitter accounts. Astros pitcher is your Giddy.
Oh, Urgidi. Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So okay. All right. So before we get out of here, I wanted to have a little bit of fun with this because obviously we're talking about modern day baseball. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But in the postseason, there's been a lot of great clutch players in the postseason.
Yep.
Who would you say is probably who would be your like if all right if you needed a guy to come up with a hit and you could pick anybody in a big spot to be up to bat, who would you pick? Like
that is the toughest question you could ask me right now. Honestly, well, before I answer that question, I have a lot of like plays in my mind that were memorable moments of World Series baseball. Kirk Gibson, of course.
Right.
Again with Dodgers, home run, around the bases. Ray Knight. I'm sorry, Mookie Wilson. Mookie Wilson with the single.
Yeah, but it's funny you said that. Ray Knight probably got the biggest hit.
Right. But Ray Knight got the winning run.
Yeah,
he scored the winning run when the Mets won '86. And I have a Phillies moment too. Tug McGraw, Joe.
McGraw. Yeah, okay.
1980, baby.
Yeah,
against Willie Wilson. How could you forget that? You can't.
Yeah, I think. God.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think the most clutch player I ever saw in the postseason was Big Papi.
Yeah, I agree.
Papi Ortiz, and then a close, just for clutch. I mean, not necessarily the greatest player, but Lenny Dykstra is clutch. Like he was clutch for the Mets in '86.
Yep.
And in '93 for the Phillies, he got a hit like every friggin' time practically.
Game 6 alone, Joe.
Game 4.
Yeah,
game 4 he had 2 bombs. Game 6 he came up with that big home run. So
yep. But like the one memorable moment that really sticks in my head is Tug in 1980. I can't get that. I mean, I loved it so much, But clutch players, wow. I mean, I would say Big Papi.
Yeah,
I think that's fair to say.
Kurt Schilling. I mean, look at
Kurt Schilling. Sure.
Schilling. I mean, you go back even his first playoff game ever was '93, Game 1. He struck out the first 5 guys he faced versus Atlanta.
Yep, he was hot.
And then you fast forward to Game 5 versus Toronto
against Toronto. That series, Joe. That game alone was amazing. He pitched all 9 innings.
Yeah, he wins 1-0, and then you take him to when he's with Arizona, he was clutch. You take him to Boston with the bloody sock. I mean, he was just I'll tell you another clutch guy was what was it? Josh Beckett.
Yes.
The guy not only for Florida in '03, but also for Boston in 2007.
2007, yeah.
Yep. Paul Spencer's got oh my God, Madison Bumgarner.
2014, yeah.
Madison Bumgarner, dude, he almost single-handedly won that series against Kansas City. I think he won 3 games.
Well, didn't Paul Molitor have a big series too against the Phillies in '93?
He did. You know what? I think he was World Series MVP actually.
I think he was.
Yeah. So, but no, there's
a lot to go through, Joe. A lot of World Series back in the day, so it's kind of hard to figure them all out,
Yeah, and of course, the greatest clutch performer of all time, of course, is Roy Hobbs, the natural. No one could beat Roy Hobbs.
Oh no, Roy's the man.
I mean, not only does Roy Hobbs hit home runs, but he takes the lights out too.
This is true. True. Hey, mine is Rowan Gardner.
Oh, there you go. Huh.
How can you not love Henry Rowan Gardner, Joe?
That's so funny, dude.
Rosenberger. Rowan Gardner. What do you call me?
But yeah. So anyway, we got some big games this week. It's Dave. It was fun. It was fun shooting the shit with you. It was fun getting into some of these games.
Great times.
But I'm a little I was really hoping for a repeat of 1983 World Series, but that doesn't look like it's going to
I
happen.
thought so too, Joe. I really did. I thought that was going to happen.
Except I needed the Phillies to win this time. But hey,
Joe, it would have been 40 years later. Think about it.
I know, right?
Is that crazy? I know. It's crazy.
But hey, any Baltimore fans out there though, you know what though? Hey, this series may suck, but you guys got a really bright future. So
yep.
And,
come on, Joe. There's no crying in baseball.
Here's hope. Here's hoping the Phillies have a little run in them. Hopefully, they win the next two.
Yep.
Good luck to all your teams out there, except for, of course, the Braves.
I think fantasy's over, Joe.
What's that?
I think fantasy baseball's over right now. I think it's over.
Fantasy baseball's over. Yes,
yes,
that's right.
It's over. Yeah, pretty sure. I think it is anyway. I could be wrong.
I don't know, but anyway, it's been real. We'll be back. We'll be back at some point next week, and have a good week, everybody. And go Phils.
Go Phils. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.